Shalom and good day all, this is Healing29 back again for some DC reviews, and in these DC reviews I'll be covering Jeremy Adams' Aquaman and Green Lantern Corps. I'll now get things ready and organised for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So, first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art, as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So, as the story begins, we get a bit of a flashback, as we see a young Arthur, our Aquaman, and also his first encounter, in a way of sorts, with I'm suspecting maybe someone who might be his wife or someone not. Maybe someone who might become a friend of the family that might show up later on in a further story. I don't know. And of course we have him catching up with his old man. Jumping towards the middle of the story, we have Aquaman starting to move against the character of Dagon in the story. And of course Dagon is, well, what's the word I'm looking for? Not floundering around like a fish as he goes up against Aquaman. And last but not least, towards the end, to which we get to see him using using the skills that he has learnt from Mira, and prepares to move into what is being set up as the aftermath of these events. For the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10, as I quite enjoyed the art with the story. Next is the area of the story, to which the rating consists of time, location, and cast. For time, we had then being used, but I'm surprised we didn't get to see the present being brought up in the story. To which I think it should have, and I think it would have made the story a little bit better if Jeremy Adams or the editor or someone just remembered that, okay, we're showing the past here using then, but it's also important to show when we move into the present with the story. And because of that, I'm afraid it does play a bit of a part in loss of points, which it's a pity, because Jeremy Adams is actually a really decent writer at DC Comics. If anything, I think he deserves more of an exclusive contract with DC than Tom Taylor. Next is the location. We learned that some of this is taking place in Atlantis, though I think it would have helped to include maybe some additional places in the story too, and also for him to be shown to the audience. Next is the cast of characters. We have Aquaman, Mira, Dagon, Nemo, and Lorik, I think it is, or Laurie. And I think there's one more person that I forgot, but considering how bad some of my writing can be sometimes, I've forgotten how I've written the name of the character and who the character is, but that's on my fault, not on Jeremy Adams. For the overall rating, I give a 6.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move on to Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern Corps. So, as we move into Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern Corps, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? It does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the internal art, as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. As the story begins, we sort of get the appearance of one of the villains in the story, who is connected to the Starbreaker, and how he's trying to work against the Green Lantern Corps. Whilst this is occurring, we have quite a number of things happening with Oa, as well with many of the members of the Green Lantern Corps. And last but not least, we move towards the end, to which things look like they are about to get crazy. So for the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10 as I quite enjoyed it in the story. Next is the area of the story rating, which consists of time, location, and cast. First things first is the area of time, to which we have day 1 come up in the story. The relevance to this story, it feels a little bit... it needs a bit of adjusting to fix it up, to make it work. Next is the locations, to which we have the Furungale, we have Oa, we have the Castle of the Desolate Stone, which is something, if I remember, came up in the last issue. No, it probably wouldn't have hurt to include a comic book reference, because that might have actually brought up the story racing in this, that help remind the readers. Of course, we have John Stewart's headquarters within Oa. And last but not least, the cast of characters consisting of the Starbreaker and also the Green Lantern Corps members. For the overall rating, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.